Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're up dead early and it's a Monday and it's a great Monday because you're with us. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Gabrielle Gardner wishing a happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday, everybody. It's the rainy start of a new week and I like that. You know, it's wet outside. There's actually a great sunrise happening. If you're outside, you're walking, you live on the coastline, go and take a look at that sun coming up over the horizon and be thankful that we get to see that this morning and every other morning and give thanks for life. And speaking of give thanks for life, give thanks for my son, Eli Patrick Leo Daniels. Happy birthday, Eli. It is your 8th birthday and we're so proud of you. You have such a bright future ahead of you, such a creative child, so genuine. Continue to dance, continue to smile, and I'll continue to teach you those soccer skills. We love you and we're gonna have a great day today. Enjoy your day, Eli.
Oh, and I have to wish a happy belated birthday. I mean, I did yesterday,
Yeah.
but since we're on TV, I want to wish my grandfather, Frank Dean, a happy belated birthday. He celebrated his birthday yesterday, very low key as he is, if you know him, but just want to make sure he had a very special day.
Awesome, awesome. Give thanks for life. We appreciate being here with you live on Monday here in Bahamas at Sunrise. How was your weekend?
It was great. For better or worse, I worked a lot. Yesterday, I actually worked until around 4 o'clock, but then I was so excited because I was counting down because it was so nice and rainy outside. I was just like, I just want to be on my couch in this rain, nice and cozy with a blanket, and it was great.
That's awesome. Yes, those who got to enjoy the rain, enjoy nice cozy moments with your family, just on the couch, or maybe you did a little work. I felt the need to clean and stuff when it rained. So you know, it's a good day to be up and about, and we're thankful that you're here with us on Bahamas at Sunrise. We want to remind you, we're about to be in Saunders this week, everybody. Bahamas Business Outlook, the Saunders Business Outlook is happening Thursday, the 27th of June in Saunders under the theme Future Saunders, branding the national identity and planning for success. The registration to attend in person is $90 and virtual guests can attend for $50. You don't want to miss it. Register at tclevents.com. It's going to be the things thing. Is that a saying? The things thing?
The things thing. It's not, but you can make it a thing.
It's going to be the things thing in Saunders this week. So make sure you don't miss it or tune in online because it's always a great event. We've got a great show coming up for you today. We're going to be talking about the upcoming Bahamas Youth Climate Change Conference. And also we're going to hear from Minister JoBeth Coleby-Davis. And she's here to discuss energy reform in the Bahamas. Oh, I love it.
And we'll be talking about acute scrotal pain in our urology care segment. And Dr. Higgins is here to tell us about her dance school in Paris. But first, let's check on weather with Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Gabrielle. Good morning, Bahamas. And your first look at weather at sunrise, like Mark will say, is a dead wet week in store weather-wise. Deep layer troughing, along with abundance of tropical moisture, will cover the northwest and southern Bahamas over the next several days with showers and thunderstorms over the southeastern islands. Weak high-pressure profile will give them partly sunny skies. So for the most part today, we're looking at cloudy, scattered showers, isolated thunderstorms, those showers becoming heavier times, or thunderstorms severe times over the northwest and central Bahamas, and that's going to cause some flooding in low-lying areas and flood-prone areas over the next couple of days. For those southeastern islands, we're looking at partly sunny skies. You can expect an afternoon shower thunderstorm in that area. High temperature reaching 88, the night drop off to 78. Highs and lows, Barbados 91 and 80. In Jamaica, 91 and 78. In Trinidad, 88 and 77. In the Turks and Caicos Islands, 90 and 76. Over North America, Atlanta, 100 at daytime, 71 at nighttime. In Boston, 85 and 67. In Miami, 89 and 78. Dallas, Texas, 98 and 78. And Toronto, Canada, 74 and 62. As you go through the week, we're looking at cloudy skies, scattered showers, isolated thunderstorms. Into Thursday, by Friday and Saturday, we're looking at variable cloudiness with showers and thunderstorms in the forecast over the northwest and central Bahamas. The temperature daytime will be in the upper 80s, at nighttime in the mid to upper 70s. That puts you up in the first look at the weather at sunrise. I'm about to go inside. Back to you, Gabrielle.
Thanks, Godfrey. Acute scrotum pain is characterized as the sudden occurrence of pain, swelling, and or tenderness in the scrotal area. Dr. Greggory Pinto, urologist at Urology Care Bahamas, is here to discuss this further. Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning, Bahamas. Good morning to my daughter, Gia.
And I have to say, on behalf of all the men who must be struggling with this, ouch.
Yes, so the first thing you'll hear from the men when they hear scrotal pain is, yes, ouch. And I want to take the embarrassment out of it because far too many men will live in silence with acute scrotal pain that becomes chronic scrotal pain, and you can have irreversible damage down there. That's the worst thing anyone wants. That can affect your fertility, it can affect your testosterone production, it can cause horrible infections that actually can spread outside of the scrotum. It can develop to what we call necrotizing fasciitis, which in layman's terms is flesh-eating bacteria that can be life-threatening, can go all the way up into the lower abdomen. So don't stay home with the embarrassment. There's no embarrassment when you're dealing with a physician. Everything is in a confidential and manner. So please don't try to Google and be your own doctor. If you have pain down there, please seek help. So the most important thing is to have some general understanding of why you may have pain down there. Not that you be able to diagnose yourself. If you have pain down there, the first thing is you need to see a urologist. If it's severe acute pain, you need to go to the emergency room immediately because your testicle might be threatened or at risk. For example, if you have testicular torsion, which is a twisting of your testicle, the blood supply could be compromised, and that can have, it's called a bimodal distribution. It can have two peak incidences. When you're an infant, so you have a young newborn in infancy, they're very irritable, they're crying, you can see swelling and pain in their scrotum. You need to take that child to see a urologist in the emergency room immediately. Between the ages of 11 and 28, you also can have twisting the testicle, and I mean 12 out of 10 pain. You might be showering, your teenager may come into the room and say, wake you up and say, I woke up with the most pain I've ever had in my life. They might be nauseous, they might be vomiting, the pain might be going to their lower abdomen. You have 4 to 6 hours to get to the emergency room, into surgery, untwist that testicle and make sure that we don't lose that testicle. So you don't want to have a very unfortunate incident cause something that can be lifelong in terms of you losing a testicle. And although it happens and you can have a normal life where you can have normal children, normal sexual development, normal sex and everything else, obviously you don't want to put your child through that. So other things that can happen, you want to divide it into painless and painful. So we need to be mindful of anatomically what is down there. So for painless, usually for a lot of men as they get older, you'll hear older men say, my balls are dropping down, and my balls are getting bigger. It's not that their testicles are getting enlarged. It's actually the fluid that bathes the testicle is increasing in size, so it's weighing the testicle down. That's called a hydrocele. So that can cause a lot of issues for men because they feel very reticent to be sexually active because it doesn't look that great. And they don't want to wear pants that are a little bit tight because you can see that big engorgement. Also, a hernia. You can actually have a hernia where the bowel contents can go into the scrotum and it can develop into a big, large sac. That can also be dangerous because the bowel itself can twist and the blood supply can be compromised. So the most important thing is you don't want to diagnose it yourself. You can have varicocele. Maybe 1 in 8 to 1 in 9 men, even young men in teenage years, can develop a varicocele, which is complex. It's basically similar to varicose veins, where you have a congestion of the blood that's supposed to go back to the heart through the veins. So the papiniform plexus, which is part of the vein plexus.
Repeat that word for me.
Papiniform plexus, which is part of the testicular venous drainage system that allows the blood going from the testicle back to the heart. If there's any compromise in that blood flowing back to the heart, there's going to be a sludging of the blood and the distension of the vein. So what that does is that can affect the environment of the testicle, so you're not going to have as good testosterone production, you're not going to have as good sperm production. It's one of the common causes of male infertility. But what men will notice that every time they go to the gym, anytime they strain, if they're constipated and they're trying to strain to pass stool, they're going to have severe testicular pain. So it's a complex issue. You don't want to just diagnose it yourself. If you have a sexually transmitted disease or a urinary tract infection, you can get an infection and swelling of the epididymis, which is a tissue appendage attached to the testicle itself. You get testicular cancer. Although we're very fortunate, we're predominantly of African ancestry, testicular cancer is very rare. I might see 2 a year. I might go a whole year and not see one in the whole country. And my other urologist will say the same thing. But the opposite is true for prostate cancer. I'll always say that. We have a very high risk for prostate cancer, but we are very fortunate we don't have a lot of testicular cancer. But you don't want to ignore, many testicular cancers are painless. So you'll have a swelling of the testicle. That's why I advise every man and young boy, every time you're showering, take an extra 5 minutes, feel down there. You know what's abnormal, what's normal, because you're the one who feels it every day you shower. But take a little bit of extra care in noticing if anything's abnormal, at least once every month, so that if there is any concern, you come see a urologist right away.
I think what I'm hearing across the board, first of all, is not to WebMD yourself,
Correct.
not to Google yourself into destruction, but also the importance of coming in. None of these things seem like they go away on their own, and the risks just seem extremely high. And so I just think it is super important to actually see a professional who can properly diagnose, because clearly intervention seems to go in just a multitude of directions in terms of helping and just, I guess, fixing these issues so that they don't balloon into something else.
You don't want to make a small problem become a large problem. You don't want to make a temporary problem become a lifelong problem. Yes, so don't diagnose it yourself. If you're a young boy, have that relationship with your parents, go to them right away. You don't want to take your child to the clinic because there's going to be a waiting period. If you have a twisting of the testicle, you only have 4 to 6 hours. So you got to get to the emergency room right away. You need to impress upon the nurses who are triaging that this is the problem, so they can let a urologist or emergency room physician see you right away, because you don't want to miss that 4 to 6 hour window where we can save that testicle.
And what do you say to somebody who is embarrassed? They're having a problem, they're not sure what it is, but obviously it's a very sensitive area, and it's a very sensitive issue for men. What do you say to that person who's afraid to go and seek help?
Well, every physician, every urologist, the cornerstone of your practice is confidentiality. You want to be able to give comprehensive, you want to be able to create an environment where you can have free dialogue. There's nothing that I haven't seen. I've seen it all. I say done it all. Everything that is told to me stays within the confines of our relationship from patient to physician. If I see you out in the food store, if I see you out in an event, I don't know you, you don't know me. If you want to say hi doc, I'll say hi doc. And a lot of people know me. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're my patient. And obviously, whatever came between us, I'll never impart. So please, let's not let your embarrassment prevent you from saving your testicle or creating an infection that become a major issue, or you're going to live a life of infertility where you're struggling to have a child and you don't know why, when we can get you back on track. Or even, let's say it affects your testosterone production, or it could be life-threatening if it's a hernia that can become strangulated and your bowel can become ischemic. So please don't let a small problem mushroom into a huge problem.
And that's going to be our lesson for today. Don't let a small problem become a big problem. Go and see Dr. Pinto or other professionals who can help you. Dr. Pinto, thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Know how important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
What if you were told that you could learn about all the opportunities in all of Andros in one day? Well, you can participate in the Andros Business Outlook, Thursday, June 27th at the Andros Lighthouse Yacht Club in Fresh Creek, Andros. Register today at tclevents.com.
I can't believe how big Christopher's gotten. He'll soon be ready for college.
Not at the rate I'm going.
I'm praying for an athletic scholarship.
It's never a bad time to start saving. I just started Nicole on a college savings plan. I have options based on her age. It contains a mix of stocks, bonds, however you choose.
Mommy, come push me.
I'm coming.
Girl, how do you know all of this? What's Leno?
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Alive Business SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Alive Business at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, a local international bank that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
What? The luncheon? Why you always worried about food? No, about how we gotta pay a little more for national insurance. Mildred, you talking fool. I can't afford to pay that. And you always crying, palm out. Ain't gonna be much. Boss still gotta pay. 1st of July, 2024. Oh, I can't wait to get my little extra pension.
You ain't lie about that, you know. I think that's what did help my boy Tony during the pandemic. That same unemployment benefit. And guess what?
What?
Susan, I think she'd get a pregnancy benefit, eh?
You mean maternity benefit, eh? So now, we gotta do our part to make sure we get our pension. All right, then let me try and go back to agency, boss.
Thanks, Michelle.
Hey, congratulations on your new promotion.
Even I was surprised.
What are you going to do with that new windfall of yours?
You mean like investing in stocks and bonds?
Yes, you might want to consider investing in mutual funds. Money's a pool to invest in financial assets that fit your investment profile. Start your journey to financial freedom.
How do you know all this? What's Leno?
The Euro device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You are able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more stable connection. Their customers are able to view their digital menus. The establishment is able to stream. It allows for everyone, the customers and the business operators, to have a much more robust and stable internet connectivity.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Welcome back. The Bahamas Youth Climate Change Conference is happening, and it's an opportunity for Bahamian youth to increase their knowledge of what climate change is and its impact on us here in the Bahamas. And here to tell us more about this are Jervon Sands. He is a 2024 Male Climate Youth Ambassador. We have Wayneisha Saunders. She is the 2024 Female Climate Youth Ambassador. And we also have with us Brother Charles Hamilton. He is a climate change advisor with the Office of the Prime Minister of the Bahamas. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. So glad to have you here talking about such an important topic, climate change and how it impacts us here in the Bahamas. So what is the main objective of the Bahamas Youth Climate Change Conference?
So, Mark, good morning to you. Good morning, Bahamas. The objective of the Bahamas Youth Climate Conference, or the BYCC, is really to expose our young Bahamians between the ages of 16 to 25 on the topic of climate change. We know that that is the most pressing issue for our country, for future generations. We see the weather that's out there. It's extremely hot. You're hearing about heat waves across the world. You're hearing about these issues of 1.5. And really, this was spurred out of the fact that Bahamians need to be at the forefront of negotiations, advocacy, and diplomacy for addressing and creating climate solutions. So the only way to do that is if we get young people involved. And so that's what we're hoping to do, get young people involved, energized, excited, and ready to move into this field.
Why is it important that Bahamians are at the table when discussions about climate change, negotiations are going on internationally? Why is it important that Bahamians are there speaking on behalf of Bahamas? Why us, right?
Absolutely. I think as a country that contributes the least amount of climate change, but is at the front lines of its impacts, it's important that we're there at the table. I can tell you from going to these negotiations that other countries are putting their young people forward because it helps to tell a message that this isn't about the tit for tat that happens between big countries, but these are the decisions we make out there impact lives and livelihoods, and young people being there at the front, at the table, sitting there and saying, we need you to move with haste because our future's at stake is important. So the only way we can do that, let's try and help to hone and build capacity here at home so that we can take the message out there to the world that the Bahamas is not going to sit idly by while the climate crisis rages on.
Fantastically said. And talking about the young people, we got two of these young people here who have put themselves forward as youth climate ambassadors. Tell me, why did you decide to get involved with the Bahamas Youth Climate Conference?
Well, honestly, with the ambassadorship on the whole, about a year or two ago, I honestly wasn't in the climate change space. It wasn't until the horrific hurricane that happened, Dorian, in 2019, and I had a lot of family and friends who had to move to Nassau, and we even lost one or two family members. Like, I really asked myself, what is going on? Why is this happening? And then through deep research, I realized that climate change, climate action, the Sustainable Development Goals, that there's so much work to be done. And Mr. Hamilton spoke about, young people need to step forward. So I was like, this is a great opportunity to advocate, use my voice, and of course empower other young people that's going to come behind us to just encourage them to fight towards climate action and just empower them to use their voices.
I'm ready to sign up for whatever it is. Tell me, why is it that you decided to put yourself forward as a Bahamas Youth Climate Ambassador?
Well, for me, during my early start to the journey of climate action, I felt that I was isolated as a young Bahamian climate activist, and I saw a need to create connectivity across the Bahamas, especially with a focus on youth. And the ambassadorship, the Bahamas Youth Climate Conference, I just saw those as great opportunities to be able to do that well and then continue that work moving forward.
Awesome. And we're so excited that the conference is coming up. Tell us a little bit about the conference and what's going to be happening there.
Sure. Sure, we can go ahead. So this is going to be a 2-day exciting event held at the University of the Bahamas, July 4th through July 5th. We're going to have speakers ranging from international climate change negotiators to those who are working in the climate space here in the Bahamas. There's going to be hands-on activities. There's going to be activities to be able to get you involved. There's going to be prizes and surprises. We know that this is a conference for young people, and we're not here to ensure that you're being lectured at, but you're being engaged, and we are having feedback along the way. So young people, I really, really encourage you. You're going to meet probably some persons who could be friends for life. You're going to be able to enhance your capacity in climate action. You might have an opportunity to be, this might be a spot where you see yourself becoming the next climate youth ambassador. And also, as I said, we have some prizes. Some prizes that people,
teens.
Honestly, the teens, we love teens as Bahamians, as young people. So come out July 4th through 5th, University of the Bahamas, and you need to register for that, but we can talk about that.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we're driving home this idea that Bahamians need to speak and advocate for the Bahamas. When I was at Miami University in Ohio, and there was a lecture being given there, and it was driving home the point of what's going to happen with sea level rise and climate change, and how that's going to impact various countries in the Bahamas. The Bahamas being one of the top countries to be impacted. So I stood up and asked the question, what are we going to do? Who is going to help us? And the response was, nobody. You have to help yourself. And this is what this is about. This is our young people saying we are coming to the forefront to find a solution together. So who should attend this event? Who should be coming out to this climate change conference?
Sure. If you're 16 to 25 years old, if you're interested in climate change, if you're not interested in climate change, you should come out. If you want some teens, you should come out. Right. Honestly, it's an opportunity to just be able to connect with other young people and to just say, okay, I don't know about this climate thing. I hear the Prime Minister talking a lot about it. I see these youth climate ambassadors talking a lot about this. What is this whole issue about, right? The reason why we picked that range 16 to 25 years old is because you're thinking about what your next job trajectory might be. We want you to realize that there's a lot of jobs available that are in the climate change space or climate adjacent space. Yes. And so coming out, meeting people, finding opportunities. There may be internship opportunities. There may be job opportunities. Honestly, come out. That's why we're having
a great networking opportunity, a great learning experience. What do you want to say to your fellow young peoples them about coming out to this conference, and once again, how important it is that we as young Bahamians are at the table when it comes to climate change negotiation?
Yeah, so I definitely would encourage all young Bahamians. I was once that person that didn't know, and I was like, climate change, I'm going to leave that to those people that are in science. I'm studying law, and then I realized that, hold on, like, this impacts not just us, but generations to come in our country at large. So come out, come out, come out. Yes, a lot of teens. Let me just say it. Teens will be given out. We're gonna have some, even us as young people, we're gonna be having presentations. We'll be speaking to the young people. We're gonna have breakout sessions. We're gonna have food. And everybody was like food, and they're like teens.
Food on teens.
So it's gonna be very empowering. But on a more serious note, like, we need young people to join us in this fight in advocating for climate action and using their voices.
Fantastic. What's your drive home message? What you got to say?
Like I said, I'm all about connectivity, but I feel that young Bahamians need to be able to see themselves in these spaces, and that's what we're here for. So as the youth ambassadors, it's our job to be there, be present, to attract young people. So I could be there, Wayneisha could be there, so make sure you come out to see us present and talk about climate change, why it's important for the Bahamas. Come for the teens, come for the food, but come to learn as well if you're curious. And on the point of looking for your next job, or if you're trying to get into a specific field, don't think that because you don't know now, you won't ever be able to get into that space. You know, that's why we're here presenting on these topics, so that you can feel that you can enter into that space.
Fantastic. And I'll be there. Brother Charles, tell our people how they could register. Tell them how they can be there, because they don't want to miss it.
Absolutely. So for those of you listening, if you type up youthclimateready.gov.bs, you can go on our website and you can register for the conference. Now, if you don't want to go on the website, go on Facebook, go on Instagram. You can find the CCEAU, that's the Climate Change and Environmental Advisory Unit. At the top of those pages are the links for you to register. Now, we're not saying that you can't register on the day, but we want to know how many people are coming so we can know how much teens we need to bring together, all right?
Plenty people coming.
Exactly.
We want to thank you all again this morning for being on, advocating for the Bahamas. We appreciate all the work that you do, and we're looking forward to this conference, because I can be there too, everybody. Absolutely. I ain't telling you what I do, but I can be there doing things. We appreciate y'all being here on Bahamas at Sunrise, and looking forward to seeing y'all at the conference. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We got to do something. Climate action is needed. And we can be right back.
What if you were told that you could learn about all the opportunities in all of Andros in one day? Well, you can participate in the Andros Business Outlook, Thursday, June 27th, at the Andros Lighthouse Yacht Club in Fresh Creek, Andros. Register today at tclevents.com.
African Things is your one-stop shop for everything African. Make a bold fashion statement with vibrant colors and intricate patterns inspired by the beauty of Africa. Find trendy contemporary looks for every occasion and enjoy custom tailoring. Shop jewelry, purses, art, cosmetics, and much more. African Things is located in the Dugard Plaza, Palmdale, next to McDonald's. Open Tuesday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come get your African Things.
One thing, two things, new thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Welcome back, Mamas at Sunrise. We're here at the mid-show on another marvelous Monday. So glad that you stuck with us. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Gabrielle Gardner, hoping that you are still having a happy Monday.
Happy Monday. I enjoyed the first segment of the show, talking to our climate change ambassadors, seeing Bahamian youth out there, and driving home the message that when it comes to the international advocacy efforts, there's a you know, you hear about COP and you hear about the UN, and you hear about all these bodies that are out there discussing climate change. You hear all the buzzwords. But what's really happening is that you're at the table trying to negotiate for your country's best interests, for your citizens, and how we are able to adapt to the changes that are coming, and they have already started to happen. So it is real, and we're happy that we have folks advocating for us and that we have youth coming up behind to continue, because we need it. We got to stay in the fight.
I will say, you know, kudos to the Prime Minister who has kept an ongoing conversation, a global conversation, you know, pretty much any, I feel like, global platform that he finds himself on, he's talking about the importance of climate change. So shout out. Just on advocating for a very important cause that affects us very deeply, more than it affects other countries. Also, I want to say, I mean, that was a really, I wouldn't say exciting, but very informative session with Dr. Pinto, just talking about keeping small problems from becoming big ones. If you have pain, pain is your body's indication that something is wrong, so you definitely want to go and get the help you need. I know men are big and strong and they don't like to ask for help, but definitely if you have any sort of scrotum pain, you definitely want to get help immediately. Keep a small problem from becoming a big problem.
Just don't walk up to Dr. Pinto in the supermarket or when he's at dinner, make an appointment and get that sorted out, right?
You're like, yeah, I took some pictures with my phone, I just.
We're going to have a great second half of the show. We'll be discussing the energy crisis with Minister Coleby-Davis.
And Dr. Ann Higgins is here to tell us about her dance school in Paris. But before all of that, we're going to take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Gabrielle. Good morning, Bahamas. And yes, second look at weather sunrise. You look at the tropics, and in the tropics, you do have an air of low pressure just off the east coast of Mexico, moving towards the west. And has a low or 10% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 7 days. That system will move into Mexico sometime today. Elsewhere, tropical storm formation expected during the next 7 days. On the local scene, though, we have deep layer troughing across the islands, along with abundance of tropical moisture, and that creates some showers and thunderstorms across the northwest and central Bahamas through Wednesday, with some heavy showers and thunderstorms causing flooding in low-lying areas and flood-prone areas. In your marine forecast today, those winds are east of 10 knots or less, seas 1 to 3 feet in northwest Bahamas, northwest and central Bahamas, that is, east to southeast at 10 knots or less, seas 1 to 3 feet or southeastern islands, but you can expect gusty winds and higher seas locally in those heavy showers and thunderstorms. On Tuesday, the winds lighter available at 1 to 3 feet over all areas. Then Wednesday, over the northwest Bahamas, those winds are south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet. Over the northwest Bahamas, lighter available seas 1 to 3 feet over the central and southeastern islands. your ties. You can expect a high tide at 10:14 this morning. Your next low tide will be at 4:15 this afternoon. High gain tonight at 10:41. Sunset 8:01 this evening. Rising was 622. UV index 9. Your water temperature 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And the moon phase, full moon. General look, deep layer troughing along with abundance of tropical moisture will affect the northwest and south Bahamas over the next several days into Wednesday, maybe a week Thursday morning, with cloudy skies, lots of showers and thunderstorms. Some of those showers heavier times, thunderstorms severe times over the northwest and central Bahamas, with partly sunny skies over the southeastern hours. A shower too possible by afternoon. So temperature in the daytime will be in the upper 80s, at nighttime in the mid to upper 70s. That's what's wrapping up. Look at weather sunrise. I've got to go inside. Back to you, Gabrielle.
Thanks, Godfrey. With me now are Dr. Ann Higgins, President of the World Dance Council, CID, Nassau Section, Partners of UNESCO, Joan Knowles, member of the CID, and dance leader, as well as Ashely Quant, member of the CID and also a dance leader. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
This is a special treat for me today. We have Dr. Ann Higgins, a dance legend, but she was also my first dance teacher. So this feels like a very full circle moment for me today. But I mean, from Nassau to Paris, working with UNESCO, tell me a little bit about this whole process and how you wound up, affiliated with UNESCO and teaching in Paris.
Actually, it started with ASAP Paris, Dr. Miles Monroe and Dr. Mark Bethel. And so we went and started that about 20-something years ago. And I had to produce a whole lot of choreography. And I didn't have the ability to bring dancers from Nassau. So I created and worked and trained dancers in Paris. So we ended up 20-some years later with a school in Paris. Led by one of my spiritual daughters, Virginie. And as a result of that, we started a dance conference every year. And it went from a dance conference to opening a dance school and then traveling within France, Martinique, Port-au-France. And as a result, we now host a dance conference up to now every April, actually. But this year we plan on doing it in July, because we want to celebrate independence in Paris. And as a result of going there and seeing the work, the president of the World Dance Council happened to visit us, was invited actually to one of our concerts, and I ended up being the president for the Bahamas and the Caribbean of the World Dance Council. I was a member from forever, when I was dancing in the casino. I was a member, but now I fully got to meet the World Dance Council president and got to be a part of UNESCO, Partners of UNESCO. And so that's how everything basically evolved.
Now, for those who aren't familiar, because I did say CID, and obviously it has a different connotation in the Bahamas.
Yes.
So for those who are watching who don't know what it stands for, tell us a little bit about
actually, it's International Dance Council, but when you flip it around, it's Council International de la Dance, which is the French way of pronouncing it.
And so looking forward to this conference, which is happening, you said the 12th and 13th of July. What are you looking forward to? What's that experience going to be like?
Well, it's going to be a grand experience because, first of all, we have over 100 plus dancers enrolled in the school. They've been taught Bahamian dance, Junkanoo, creative folklore, and the purpose of those certification was during my tendency as a presidency, I've introduced liturgical dance, Bahamian folk, and Junkanoo to the World Dance Council. It's a certified course, and these dancers have been taking it. So as I travel there like twice, 3 times a year, I trained in those genres of dance. And so when we get there, you'll see a lot of the French doing Bahamian dance, and they'll be celebrating with us our independence. They wear the colors, and they have the dance, and so this is going to be the exciting part. We're going to be taking 10 of our dancers from the Bahamas. We have Long Island, we have Abaco, Grand Bahama, and Nassau that makes up the dance leaders. Of course, as the 2 of these dancers are from Nassau. And so that's going to be the reunion of seeing the French and different cultures embracing in our culture, and this is going to be an exciting part of this worship conference.
I feel like we have a theme this year of taking paradise to Paris. We're looking forward to the Olympics this summer, and now, of course, we're taking dance, Bahamian dance, all the way to Paris.
Yes.
Ladies, is this your first journey to Paris with Dr. Higgins?
Yes, this is my first time, and I'm looking forward to it, to networking and just the exposure that I will get and hopefully will give to others over there. So I'm looking forward to it.
And what does it mean to you to represent the Bahamas, you know, bringing dance, bringing artistry, again, all the way from Paradise to Paris?
Yes, I am so excited that in 14 days, I will be heading to Paris. Yes, the countdown is on. And I'm a dance teacher at Civil Square Primary School, so I'm so excited to learn from their culture and see what I can bring back to my students, because it's definitely going to be a cultural exposure there, where they'll learn from us how we dance. Also, it's also the music part of it as well. So I just can't wait.
I love that. So you mentioned that this is not just a conference, this is not just a one-time thing, but you actually have an ongoing influence, you know, a school that's impacting people in Paris. What do you hope the long-term impact of, you know, just all of these efforts will be?
Well, actually, as a result of having a school there and the dancers being trained there, the certified courses in Junkanoo, liturgical dance, and Bahamian folk dance, other dances that's a part of CID, the World Dance Council. We have Mexico, we have Italy. I mean, we have about 80 countries actually. We go every year to the General Assembly at UNESCO, where the World Dance Council takes place. And other dancers from around the world are actually taking courses. And so some of them come to Paris, and some of them do online and Zoom, embracing in our culture. So it's something wonderful because they don't have to come to the Bahamas. As I go there and train, they train others, and the influence is great because now the Bahamas will be touching other parts of the world. And eventually we intend to bring a global dance explosion. We decided we're going to have it in Grand Bahama because that's where I'm from. People really don't know I'm from Freeport, Grand Bahama. I used to be in the casino there, started out as a dancer, but we're bringing a global dance art celebration to Grand Bahama next year. And all these countries from around the world will come. I just came back from Istanbul 2 weeks ago doing the same thing, teaching the Junkanoo, teaching folk dance. They're excited and coming to the Bahamas. So that's the result I'm looking for.
Yes. And finally, you know, the appetite. What does it mean to you to see a genuine appetite for Bahamian dance, for Junkanoo, for folk dancing all over the world in these, as people would say, more developed countries, but they have an appetite for the things that we do?
Well, I'm excited because you know what? Nobody has it like we do. We took kids to Paris and take them to China for years. And when we arrive, other dancers or other countries will be on the stage, and when we get out there with the Junkanoo and we get out there with our Bahamian folk dance, we end up on the largest stage the next night, and we end up being the preview of the whole festival. That's how impactful our culture is, because we have a passion for what we do and we enjoy it so much.
I love it. I have to say thank you again. You are a cultural icon, a dance gem. So many people have the utmost respect for you, as they should, for the strides that you've made in our community and around the world. Now I just have to find my way into someone's suitcase so that I can find my way to Paris.
I think Ashely's got a long space for you. She's so excited.
Well, ladies, congratulations to you, and I just want to say thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us on this morning.
Yes. Of course. And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Since 1974, the National Insurance Board has been an income replacement safety net.
But to ensure our future remains secure, starting July 1st, 2024, contribution rates will increase and will continue to be shared by employers and employees.
We will be sharing more information in the upcoming months, but for now, get more details on nibrateincrease.com.
Invest in tomorrow today.
with NIB.
Because together we can ensure our financial future.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Alive Business SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Alive Business at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
What if you were told that you could learn about all the opportunities in all of Andros in one day? Well, you could participate in the Andros Business Outlook, Thursday, June 27th at the Andros Lighthouse Yacht Club in Fresh Creek, Andros. Register today at tclevents.com.
Welcome back. On June 12th, Energy and Transport Minister JoBeth Coleby-Davis outlined a comprehensive plan to address the current energy crisis during her budget debate 2024-2025 in the contribution at the House of Assembly. And she's here with us now, bringing all the energy to tell us what's happening with energy reform in the Bahamas. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Yes.
And thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here in the cool blue. And
Yes.
we're so happy to hear you here to talk about what we're going to be doing about the energy here in the Bahamas. So you gave your address in the House of Assembly. What's the primary causes of the current energy crisis here?
Well, I think if we look at perspective of where we are globally, there's an energy crisis across the world. Everyone is rushing. Time is of the essence. Everyone is trying to achieve the upgrades needed for them to expand, grow, and to meet the demands that most of us are putting on the energy system and the energy sector. And so the crisis has to be addressed. We can't ignore it anymore because we understand what it means. It means that ignoring it doesn't provide reliability. Ignoring it keeps the costs increasing. Ignoring it doesn't allow us to achieve our climate goals that we've set in this country. And so the crisis has to be addressed. We have to deal with the upgrades to the system. We have to bring cleaner fuel into our mix, and we have to lean a little bit more on renewable energy. And so that's what we're trying to address.
Awesome. Let's dig a little bit into how do we address these problems? And so you gave some of these elements you outlined some of these elements in your address.
So I spoke a little bit about our reforms that we're seeking to bring into play. And the important thing to note for the Bahamian public is the reforms can't happen individually. They have to happen all together in order for us to achieve our energy goals. So the first reform we spoke about is the utility scale solar power upgrades in the Family Islands and in New Providence. The Family Islands specifically, we have a lot more land mass there, and so we should be able to achieve getting that 30% of our renewables in each family island mixed into our hybrid microgrids that will be utilizing LNG fuel. And then New Providence will be doing more of the solar panels with battery storage, and also mixing in LNG into our generation mix and having upgrades to our grid, our transmission and distribution lines, and then also the Energy Reform Adjustment Program, where we want to see a reduction in our tariff rates, our base tariff rates, to provide more support to our vulnerable society.
This all sounds so exciting. What does that mean in real time? What types of impacts is it going to happen?
In real time, it means the first thing we'd be able to achieve is seeing a little bit of the costs gradually decrease because first the base tariff rate going to 0 for 0 to 200 kWh. So that means every resident will be able to enjoy seeing that 0 rate. Well, 0 now, let's be clear, 0 on your base rate. You'll still have a fuel charge, but the base rate that you normally, and if people have their bills now, they can look at their bills and they'll see a line item on their electricity bill would say 0-200 kWh. That will now be at 0.
There you go.
Right? And so that's the first start. I think when I was discussing it internally, the team advised me it's about 90,000+ that will see that. So that's everyone, because if you use 600 kWh, you have to get through the 200 first.
Every penny counts.
Every penny counts. And so our vulnerable would be able to benefit a little bit more because the bulk of them don't use that much. They don't demand that much. And so to get them to start to see the cost go down. In the Family Islands, the same thing. Mixing renewables into your energy sector helps you to bring costs down because it allows us to get a little less charge for generating energy, but still utilizing it in the same way. Because you don't have fuel, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have a fuel charge for solar.
Exactly. And it seems like on the island, like on all of our islands, it's endless sunshine. Why don't we take advantage of it?
Well, you know, I just always try to caution persons when we talk about endless sunshine. We have endless sunshine in places like Dubai and Malta, but the Bahamas doesn't have endless sunshine because we have a lot of cloud cover.
Oh, there you go.
And so that's the one thing that doesn't allow us to take advantage of so much solar. We can utilize solar, but we won't be able to benefit greatly because the clouds come, they cover, you lose that energy that's being produced with the sun shining on your solar panels. And so therefore we have to incorporate battery storage.
Right.
So the battery storage helps us to retain some of that energy. And so when the cloud cover comes to our solar panels, the battery helps to give us that continuous support so there's not a big break or a gap or a shock to our grid because they automatically lose power when the cloud cover.
We'll take whatever we can get. It feels like it's endless sunshine, especially when outside and it's hot.
It's sunshine. It's good sunshine. Well, not today.
I know, right? So what about some of the infrastructure upgrades? I see you have some.
Oh, yes.
Some props here to show us. So tell us.
I use these in my contribution, so I thought I should bring them just so you can be able to feel and comment. So these are transmission line examples of what presently exists is this. So the smaller line, I think it's about 407 amps it could take, and or maybe it's 407 square millimeters. Anyways, one of them.
Right.
And so it's the smaller transmission line, which cannot take as much demand that we're now putting on the system. What we're looking to achieve, you want to hold that one, is to get to the larger transmission lines that allows us to pass more energy, more of the demand that is already on the system, and you could feel the difference as well in terms of weight and size. And so this is some of the examples of the upgrades that we're trying to achieve. We have a demand that has outgrown our transmission and distribution system. Our grid is not being able to sustain the level of demands that is across New Providence. We're pulling, we're flipping our switch every time we go home. We're expecting power to be on, we're plugging in our appliances, but we're pulling into a system that was not built to meet the level of demand that has grown since when it was first built, like 50 years ago. So we're trying to upgrade it, not only to meet the demand, but be able to take on the renewables that we seek to bring into our system, the LNG that we seek to bring into our system, and be able to support future growth. And so this is important.
It seems intuitive to me. It's like, you have a small hose and a big hose. The big hose.
Exactly. So when I was in the house, I said, this is an example of like a hose that fills a kiddie pool.
There you go.
So this one would be the hose that fills a large swimming pool.
Exactly.
And that's how you make the distinction of the benefit.
I'll age myself. So remember when you used to pick the switch when he was younger? You don't go for the small switch.
My Grammy used to pick the switch.
Oh, your grandma. She went for the small one. We picking the big switch, everybody. So what is the Bahamian public what can we look forward to when it comes to the future of energy
Yeah.
reform and just how this will roll out?
So what was important for me in this role is for it to be able to, by the Bahamian public, be realized now. And so the first thing is the adjustments, the rate adjustment program. We'd be able to see that on our bills at the end of July. And then we're putting in place a lot of efficiencies at BPL so that we can manage the cost of fuel, because that also plays a factor. And then educational programs that teaches Bahamians energy conservation. So whatever you use, you pay for. So sometimes I can't get your bill down if you are turning on all the lights at home all at once, even though you're not in that particular room. And so that's an important thing to remember, because I remember as a kid, my dad saying, turn that light off, you're not using that. Why you have the light on? Turn the TV off. So these are things, how do you set your air condition? Some people think setting it to 67 is going to make it cooler faster. No, set it to 74, 75. Gradually, it will cool and keep it at a nice temperature for the rest of the day. So we're going to begin doing more of these programs where we teach people energy use, energy conservation at home, so that their demand that they're putting meets, what they need, as opposed to just a wastage of use of energy.
Trust me, we can't be wasting nothing. I walk around my house all the time, flipping off, unplugging.
But we'll see gradually from July on different things coming into play for us to gradually decrease the bill, but also bring up the reliability. So as the cost decreases, I expect reliability. So I don't get much of those WhatsApp text message or those Facebook messages where, why my power off, Right? So that's what we're hoping to achieve.
Well, we look forward to the future of energy reform, and we thank you for your contributions and all of your efforts. We look forward to feeling this in real time, especially as the heat turns up this summer. And we thank you so much for being here again this morning.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed the show.
Thank you for being here. Yeah. You're watching Moms at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
What if you were told that you could learn about all the opportunities in all of Andros in one day? Well, you can participate in the Andros Business Outlook, Thursday, June 27th at the Andros Lighthouse Yacht Club in Fresh Creek, Andros. Register today at tclevents.com.
African Things is your one-stop shop for everything African. Make a bold fashion statement with vibrant colors and intricate patterns inspired by the beauty of Africa. Find trendy contemporary looks for every occasion and enjoy custom tailoring. Shop jewelry, purses, art, cosmetics, and much more. African Things is located in the Dugard Plaza, Palmdale, next to McDonald's. Open Tuesday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come get your African Things.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right into the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Well, it's been an electrifying day here on Bahamas at Sunrise. We've had such exciting conversations to get the week started on a good note. It's Monday. You have, last week might have been a bust, but you have so many opportunities to make it a great week. So I guess we want to encourage you to do that.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us this morning, and we're here. Happy birthday again to my son, Eli. Daddy loves you. We're going to have a great day today. I do also have to say condolences to the family of Allison Dick. She would have passed away in a tragic boating accident in Harbor Island this weekend. Personal friend of mine. Allison, we will remember you as somebody who was loving, who wanted to be a philanthropist. You were an athlete and a sister, a daughter, a friend. We're going to miss you. To your family, our condolences. We'll miss you. Yeah. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you on Friday. Stay safe, man. Stay safe.